Your entire life consists of the present moment. That's what Eckhart Tolle says. Your entire life consists of the present moment. Everything is now. All we have is now, the present moment. Future's made up. You've never been to tomorrow. It's a facade. We use it to make ourselves feel better, to act as if we have some control. The past is over, it's gone, it's done. We visit it in an attempt to change it, but we know we can't. So the question is, how much time do you spend in the past? And how much time do you spend in the future? And often the answer is, sorry, love. The answer is that we have the past, we have the future, right? With Venn diagram. And it eats up the now. The now. So we miss the present moment, the only thing we have, the only thing that exists, by planning for the future and living in the past. Now, why do we go into the future? You're probably saying to plan, to prepare. And to that, I would ask, when does that end? When does the preparation end? When does the planning end? Have you ever met a prepper who's done? You ever met somebody who's preparing for the end, who says, "That's it, I got enough, all set, done prepping"? Or is it more likely that there is no end to preparation? Because it is this kind of never-ending anxiety, full of these kind of, it's the highway with these off ramps that you just keep building and building and building, these scenarios of what ifs. And they're made up. We make them up. And we tell ourselves that it's for preparation, but I want to combat that with the idea that you've made it through everything you've ever been through. My evidence for that is you're right here, right now. You've made it through everything, ever. And most have done pretty well, made it through with flying colors. And it's not because of preparation, it's because you met the moment. And this idea of all this preparation is really just angst and anxiety, and this idea that that we have some form of control that we don't have. Now, the past is a different story. Now, why do we go to the past and revisit the past? And you may be telling yourself to learn from it. And my question would be, is that true? And if so, are we good at doing so? Because if you go back and learn from the past, then that must mean you just make the mistake once and not over and over and over and over. Repeatedly, same pattern. My guess is it's probably more true that you go over the past and ruminate. And it's more like a hamster on a wheel or sitting on a rocking chair, that just because there's motion doesn't mean there's progress. And you're just kind of digging through, wishing things were different. And that's not learning. That's wishing. And the other real problem I found with going into the past and the future is not only are they not real, but I am playing God. I'm the master of those universes. I'm the arbiter of what is said, what is done, how people react, how I react. And one thing I've learned in my life is I'm a really bad God. I'm really bad at it. And I've tried. Man, have I tried. And I'm awful. I'm a bad God. And in the future, I'm the master of the universe. Everything happens the way I think it should happen. Although I don't always win. Odd. I don't always survive. Sometimes I lose. In the past, I say exactly what I think I should say. Other people, they don't have a retort. Isn't that great? Turns out, I think that this should really just be very different, that we should have a now, and you can kind of visit the past for sure, right? But it should be visited. And you can plan for the future, right? I put gas in my car, I have a calendar. Right, I can you can't see any of that, can you? Great. So this says future, but I should always return to the now, and the now should be 99.9% of my time, and I can plan for the future, but I shouldn't live there. I can go back and look at my past, but I shouldn't live there. Now is all I have, and that's perfect, because everything is fine right now. There's no anxiety right now. There's no fear. That lives in the future. There's no regret, no remorse. That lives in the past. I think I was only built for the present moment. That I was only built for right now. And that my mistake is that when I take this and put it in a different place, like the future or the past, that's when I get upset. Because I wasn't built for the future or the past. I was only built for right now. And when I take this version of me and put it in the future, I get really anxious and get really afraid and get wrapped around the axle, because I'm not meant for there. I'm not meant for tomorrow. I'm not meant for next month. I'm meant for now. And when I take me now and put it last week, last month, last year, I can get really sad. I get really remorseful. I get really regretful, because I'm not built for that. I've already been through that. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm this cold robotic creature that doesn't learn and see what I've been through. I think more importantly is this idea that I am made for this moment, right? And please don't be dazzled by my artistic endeavors. So I'm made for this moment only, not for the past and not for the future. Again, I'm a natural artist. If you're not a natural artist, don't let this is not a photograph, this is just me drawing freehand. If I go there, I get anxious. If I go there, I get sad. What I don't want to do is take the knowledge I have now and judge the version of me then for not having it. That's cruel, right? As a high schooler, I don't look at me as a fifth grader and say, what a moron. The kid didn't know anything. Well, he didn't know what a high schooler knows. So as a 50-year-old, I don't look at the 30-year-old and say, man, you really messed up. No, I give credit to this version for making through what he got through, for having the survival skills of what he had. I don't judge this version for what this version knows. That to me, that's important. That's really important to me. But I'm only built for this moment. And I get really upset when I leave it. The breath is in the moment, a deep healing breath. I find that deep anxiety, fight, flight, freeze, and a really deep cleansing breath don't really cohabitate. So if I return to the breath, that really helps. But if you find yourself going way off and wanting the next, or the last, try just being where you are in your own skin. Try this moment and see if this isn't where life is. See if this isn't what you were built for. I think this might be it. You might have everything you need right here, right now. And you might find that striving is not the answer, that you have everything you need. And in fact, it may be overflowing in abundance. I hope so. I think so.